So this idea of like the forced labor of convicted felons, sociologists have said that the United States has incarcerated a larger percentage of the population than probably any other nation in the history of the world. Like we have more than 1% of our population incarcerated, which is extremely unusual,
Wow.
incredibly expensive. And so we're sitting on this situation. And then you think about what we do versus what could have happened in times in the past when they believed in something like forced labor is that in a before industrial economy, what that oftentimes meant is that if somebody really created a felony, they committed some crime, and that crime created a debt, and the only way to repay that debt was for you to then basically have to become a forced labor within the household of the person that you owed the debt to. Um, this is obviously a very difficult situation to force somebody to labor, but the alternative was usually capital punishment. Um, and the alternative that we do today that we allowed is this incredibly ethical thing, which is we basically take somebody and we just say, take 10, 20 years of their life and incarcerate them with other criminals. Like imagine the difference between being placed inside of a household where you're constantly seeing the proper functioning and you're being surrounded by people who are working, working with their hands, working hard, and you're seeing a whole economic system in which you're going to participate in after. And then, of course, like I mentioned, you then are given like a seed fund from the family that you have been working for, and they try to set you up for future success. So yeah, that's one way of handling a potential situation in which you owe somebody money because you committed a crime. And we're somehow saying that incarcerating people at a mass industrial scale and then forcing them to spend decades of their life with other criminals, this is somehow ethically superior because we're not forcing people to labor in any way. Again, I'm not saying I don't know. Like we can debate about which is more ethical, but to me, that it's really important to understand that it's not obvious that incarcerating people and forcing them to watch TV for 20 years or throwing them in solitary confinement is more ethical than trying to put them into an economically advantageous situation, not only for those who they have committed the crime against, but even for the future of the criminal him or herself.